Welcome to the August Ultimate Kaiju Universe tier list, now updated for the 5 kaijus that came out since the last list back in June. This was meant to be July's tier list, but it's late. Another one might come out later this month, what was supposed to be the actual August tier list. Since the last tier list, rebalances have come out and opinions have changed. That means even the kaijus from the last list will change. This tier list is updated to Hestatus Update around the last few days of July. Next month or later this one, a new one will come out. Anyways, please like and subscribe, and let's get into the lowest tier, D tier. D tier, the worst kaijus. At the bottom of D tier is Arath. It's a good kaiju, but every other one has more potential than it. Arath is easy to learn. It's the simplest thing available. It may feel better than it truly is because of it being so easy to get used to, but it falls behind against skilled enemies. It having the least potential of every other kaiju doesn't make it bad. The fact that it's this low proves one thing. Kaiju Universe doesn't have any truly bad kaijus. After Arath is Fei Mao. This is disappointing to me because it is so expensive. Even as a joke kaiju, it should be stronger. Fei Mao is too slow with not enough defense against flyers or powerful enemies to thrive at all. Despite being the 4th hardest kaiju to unlock right now, its strength doesn't show. C tier, the below average. Akatsumi has gotten better than the broken state it started in, but is still below average. This is okay, since it's one of the cheapest kaijus in the game. It still over-relies on some attacks and others are useless, but it's pretty fun now. Karkanos has fallen behind in the meta as so many kaijus can bully it. But Kark is very fun despite the mediocrity. This kaiju needs a lot of skill, but it pays off. Don't let it being so low fool you. Most enemies you face won't be super high level, so a leveled Kark can beat most enemies. This applies to every kaiju in the game. A level 90 Fei Mao will beat a level 10 Incineros most of the time. Malasive was originally balanced for a time in Kaiju Universe when flyers could drop out of the sky and attack with no cooldowns. Now, there is a cooldown when you try to attack or fly again after going into the air. This kaiju was designed around this, but you can't do it anymore. That leaves it feeling awkward and slow to this day, and it hurts and weakens it. That makes it, in my opinion, the worst flying kaiju in the game. Nukterra was badly nerfed, being one of the best kaiju in the game back in May. It's still good, of course, just due to being a flyer at all. Flyers are the strongest kaijus in the game when skilled as long as they are patient. Nukterra was hurt by nerfs in ways that other flyers weren't, though. B tier, the average. Voltidra can break the game in insane ways to fight enemies, spamming beams and ranged melees, but it can really be messed up by faster enemies. Hestatus is a fast, high-range melee kaiju with the ability to shield from attacks. It can be super annoying and deadly towards slow land enemies. Thermonuclear Incineros was the absolute top of S tier, maybe even strong enough for its own tier above S tier, but it was badly nerfed. Now, it's still good, but way weaker than before. And definitely weaker than the other Incineros. Scythios is kind of ridiculous. Due to its speed, small size and wall, it can block dangerous projectiles and beams. It has some busted moves, like buffed attack 2 and the beam. The Nutcracker is similar to Hestatus, and for good reason if you know anything about Kaiju Universe's history. Nutcracker has the bonus of the ability to heal itself with a better special ability than Hestatus's. Abelcross is surprisingly good, way more than I originally thought and likely due to some recent rebalances, but only when skilled. This kaiju has expanded hitbox's AMD spammable ranged moves, so it can avoid being hit by the enemy very well while still hitting them very hard. Tier A, the above average. Karamok is, like in the last list, a very powerful flyer. It has good agility and hitboxes, so a skilled one can take down many powerful enemies. Moonlight Beast needs no explanation. This has always been a very good kaiju, one of the best. Wudon is not only a busted, powerful flyer, but a busted, powerful flyer with healing potions. Flyers thrive off of outlasting enemies by stalling, and flying away and popping a healing potion makes that far easier to do. Saberyu with gold mode has great damage, agility when sidestepping, and debuffs towards enemies. Meleagris is super fast, with fast attacks and a spammy beam. A recipe for disaster that makes this kaiju a force of mass destruction. S tier, the best in the game. Vargoth the Star Death is a walking tank. This kaiju does crazy damage and has crazy health. Be very careful against a Vargoth because it is an immovable object, but the next kaiju is its biggest rival, an unstoppable force. Incineros has so much raw firepower, especially when skilled, that most enemy kaijus stand no chance against it. But number one on this list is Eclipsis Mothman. This kaiju is a flyer, which automatically makes it super strong, but it is also good on land. By carefully ranging enemies, Mothman can take down any foe without too much difficulty, but it has to be careful. Mothman can't risk anything. Here are the final rankings. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.